Hey, what's up coders? Welcome to One Little Coder. Midjourney 5 has been being tested by some paid users of Midjourney, and there are a lot of images that are out in the internet that are probably Midjourney images, Midjourney version 5 images, and these images are simply mind blowing. So in this video I wanted to share some of these pictures that I saw on a Twitter thread, and then we can also explore how these images look much better than existing stable diffusion or Midjourney images. For those who are not familiar with Midjourney, Midjourney is an AI art or AI photo creation tool or a model plus tool. So right now you can access Midjourney in two different ways. One, you could be either a paid Midjourney user or you could be using Midjourney beta on their Discord server. So this particular images, the one that we are going to discuss today, is actually shared by Nick. So Nick has been a paid Midjourney user. So Nick got an opportunity to rate new images of Midjourney V5. There is a disclaimer that Midjourney has shared, which is these images are not like images that are just straight out of box from the model that they're going to share in a couple of weeks, but it could have been post-processed, like a lot of things could have happened. But for now, we know this is not Midjourney V4 and it is most likely Midjourney V5. And let's see how these images are absolutely stunning and brilliant. And I'm going to share my views about some of these images, about how these are quite different from what the state of the art image generation tool at this moment we have. To start with, like I said, how did they get access to this? This is not an insider leak or something. So these paid users of Midjourney got an opportunity to rate Midjourney images. So if you are watching this video and you are a paid Midjourney user, you can also go to the link, which I'll link it in the YouTube description. You can go and then rate the images yourself. So now looking at these images, there are a lot of different kinds of images that we have got. Like you've got landscape, you've got food, you've got human portrait, you've got multiple different kinds of images. So now if you look at all these images, let's go through one by one some of these images and then see how certain details are really good at it. First, when you look at this landscape, let's say this is the first image. When you look at this landscape here, you can see the swan is really good and the right reflection is actually really good. And these things actually looks natural, like it doesn't look the oversaturated images that we get. And even if you have to like actually figure out this is probably AI generated, these are like certain things that you can use to figure out like if it is really human generated or AI generated. But again, like people when they draw also they can make these mistakes, but overall this image looks like quite a perfect morning sunshine and a swan swimming. A really good image. But this is not actually an image that blows your mind. But when you look at this food picture, there are a lot of channel Instagram accounts that have been using AI generated photos. Now this is like a treat for those channels, because now look at this image, look at the lemon here, look at the texture on this meat, whatever this is, fish, salmon, whatever this is. Look at the details here. And this is like actually really good. The way this image is being presented, the lighting around this image is quite nice, and it's very like if you are a food blogger, then this is probably the food for you, because now AI can generate these images that you can like actually share it if you are going to write an article, even if you do not have a picture. So this is quite a mind-blowing image. This image is okay. There are a lot of cues in this image that can actually easily tell you this is AI generated image. Like you can see the fingers here, you can see the lenses, how it is not correctly placed. You can see this multiple heads. So these cues are quite easy to tell you that this is not human generated or it's not a real photograph. Like there are a lot of cues. Like there is suddenly a guy standing there without any shirt. So a lot of cues are there. But what I was quite interested in, the kind of the hair that is generated. You can see the skin tone. You can see the mustache, you can see the beard. So these things look quite good to me, but the image, again, it's not quite mind-blowing. Another, like anytime there is an AI generated image, I think all of us, the first thing that we look at is fingers. So I at least like I look at eyeballs and fingers. And if you see this image, the eyeballs, you can look at it. It's not very bad, but it is quite symmetrical. Like I would say, like it's not in a very awkward manner. Again, you can look at certain cues, how these things don't look good, like the teeth. These are good, but if you see the fingers here, the fingers are actually good. Like the fingers are not awkward. That's why, like, I don't know if they do V5 images. On top of that, they do some post processing to fix these things, because with control net pretty much today you can improve these things. but you can see how good these images are. Where it might give out that this is an AI generated image is the skin tone. Like you can see the skin tone like pretty plain and like I would say like bland, like quite artificial, like plasticish. That's where you get to know. But when you are sharing it on social media, I think it doesn't really matter. In terms of people, I think this is again absolutely good. The kind of background, the depth of field it has created, the human's hair, the fingers, and again, like you can see that this is AI generated image when you look at things like this. Things that are that don't fit in the realm of our like planet Earth and the kind of physics that we have. But overall, this again looks quite good, like a very good image. This is again, we don't know the prompt that it has been used for this thing, but it's quite a realistic image. But from the look of this image, you can get to know that this is AI generated, because this image is like from a game shot, like it's like 3D generated image. But if your objective is to create gaming characters using Midjourney V5, you would be super happy with these images. Like every other image, you can point out to things that would easily give away that this is AI generated image. The deformed faces, some people have this mask. You can look at the eyeballs here, you can see some asymmetry here, and you can see the crown, and then look at things like these are details I wanted to point out, not to tell you that Midjourney V5 is not good, but it's actually really good. But still, there are some cues that are left here and there for human beings to figure out. One of the things that I was so happy to see is the fingers. This finger is not perfect, I would say. Like when you hold something like this, it's not going to your finger look like this. But again, like from whatever we have seen before, these fingers look perfect, and it's the sword is good, everything looks good. And if you really want to go dig deep, you can look at fingers here, how people are holding it, where people are holding it, the face. Now you can see the image is good, the hand, the hair, the ring. Again, once again, the fingers are the main culprits everywhere in any image that you generate, but it does its job. Let's look at the next one here. This was actually, like, I was quite happy with this, the way this image had come. The hair is quite good, but you can see that it has this rendery look. The eyeballs are quite symmetrical. Like I'm happy with the way this eyeballs look. Whenever I've tried with let's say stable diffusion, at least like sometimes with Midjourney, when you try to create an image without any post processing, no facial picture, but you can actually see the eyeballs not being asymmetrical. That's always a thing that has bugged me, and it has always helped me figure out if it is an AI generated image or human generated image. The eyeball is really good. The skin texture is good. Like look at the wrinkles here, look at the wrinkles here, look at the wrinkles here. So this texture is actually quite good. Like when I see this particular image, at least I know that this is not like human generated image, but it's not very easily giving away that it is an AI generated image. This is an image that actually quite impressed me. Somebody can easily look at the hair, the hairstyle, and then you can say that this is not how somebody would tie their hair, and then you can make that argument. But overall, this image looks really good, because it doesn't do the typical AI generated images that you would usually assume it to do. This is again another image. It's quite natural, because it's very it's like a photograph of an ugly sink. So that doesn't easily tell you, like when something is too beautiful, you can easily say that this is AI generated image. But when something is not really beautiful, when you have captured, like the photograph is about something that is ugly, it's quite hard. So I couldn't say that this is AI generated image. Now the kitchen, it looks good. Like I think a lot of people have been using AI generated images for interior photographs, like changing landscape within, or changing your house interior decorations from one room to another room. So this actually looks quite promising. People have been doing this with ControlNet. ControlNet has been quite good in restoring the physics or dimensions of the room, and then still filling in with separate details, because it can do edge reduction quite well. But this looks good. This actually looks good. This is again nothing great about this thing. So like these things are quite good. If you see the text, something is wrong with this thing. But overall, if you want to like look at it just like an image, it looks good. No opinion about this interior. It looks good. I'm particularly so interested and happy to see the way food images have come out. I'm not sure like what kind of impact it is going to have with influencers. Are they going to be happy? Are they going to be sad? But look at the images. This is quite good. The stew and the broccoli, the prawns. It looks quite natural to me. If right now this is a plate that is just separate, but if you had put this plate on a table, I wouldn't have taken a long time to actually believe that this is human generated image. This is again good. The reflection is good. The fork is good. Even though we don't get to see the fork actually, but it is good. Like the way it has been cut, it is all good. This is an image that I already showed that I was quite impressed with that. This one looks too good to be true, to be honest. Like it looks like your typical stock photo. Maybe you hired a very high-end photographer and then the photographer did this thing, so it looks like that. But again, like if you just want to use stock photography, instead of paying for a, let's say, Getty Shutterstock, maybe this is the way. Like you can literally get the best shot fruit bowl with this, and now you can play with this. You can play with the shot, which you're gonna do with stock photography. So this is actually good. This doesn't look quite real to me. And once again, the same thing with this. The hands are quite, the fingers look good. Nothing wrong with the finger, but if you see the skin texture, it looks quite artificial. This is quite good. Like I can take this photo and then make some changes to the exposure and white balance, and it would look really good. The smoke is good, the grilling is good, the mayo is good. Like forget about this top part, but everything else looks quite realistic because it doesn't look like that plain. Like you can see the texture here. You can see the texture here. Or the sesame is there. I'm not sure like if anybody is going to get into that particular detail and then see how it looks. But this is quite a good photo, food blog photo. The same thing. I don't know who puts pomo. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like if this is a dish. This is again like the too good to be true kind of image. But this one looks quite natural to me in the way it looks. I wanted to end this video with this particular image. This particular image, if you see, it's quite good. I don't know what kind of post processing has been done because the Canon logo has been very perfectly like the logo is quite good. It's possible because it's part of the training photo set. So the logo is quite there because it's not text. Where you can get to know is when you see the 60 centimeter there, you get to know that this is actually AI generated. You can also see the text on the lens that actually gives you away that this is AI generated. But like what was quite interesting for me, the dust on it, the overall like the shape of it has kept the shape quite intact. Like these are like certain giveaways, but overall it doesn't look like the too good to be true image. And this is what the overall theme for Midjourney V5 for me, at least. Like whenever I see any Midjourney V5 images, it doesn't look, most of the times it doesn't look like this is an image that is like too good to be true, like the plasticky 3D generated like blender type images. It looks natural, but at the same time, there are certain things that leaves out those details that helps us figure out whether this is AI generated or not. I personally would like if I can actually look at an image and then make an assessment whether this is AI generated or human generated. But whatever we have seen so far with the Midjourney V5 images, at least the images that Nick shared, this is really good. I think this is one of the best models out there at this point in terms of AI generated images. Like when I say best model, from stable diffusion base model, from let's say Lexica aperture model, and there are a lot of other these kind of smaller models available. Midjourney has always been at the top with a very simple prompting. You can actually generate a really good image, and it looks like they're going in that particular direction. And they, like I mentioned at the start, they have given a disclaimer that these images do not represent the image coming out of the Midjourney V5 algorithm. So it's possible that they have done some post processing and they're trying to get the user's rate to see if that post processing should be included in the model itself. But overall, Midjourney V5 looks quite realistic, out of the world, but still leaving some cues for us to figure out whether this is AI generated or not. Let me know your thoughts about it. If you have figured out like any other new model that has been quite good with photorealistic images, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Happy prompting. Peace.